I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Daytona. Greg Boydell and Pat Boyce on the front row. John Tobias and Tim Chapman on the second row. Bob Curtis, Roger Craig of the third row. Terry Landis and Bill Calder on the fourth. Armando Melgoza and Stu Wright round out the field. Everybody already stacked up, ready to go. 40 laps here at Daytona. Who's it gonna be? Can Greg Boydell pull off the sweep here tonight? Pace car leads him around this famous 2.5 mile oval. The sun is down, the lights are on. And everybody is ready to go racing. We've talked about it before. This track is not a physically demanding track, but it is like playing 3D chess at 200 miles an hour. One wrong move could be catastrophic. Greg Boydell won at Volusia, looking to make the first sweep of the season. Here tonight, he got the pole at Volusia, the pole here. Can he get both wins as well? Pace car is in. And the green flag flies. They're down and away at Daytona, and a problem already. John Tobias is around. And the caution flies right off the start. That was definitely interesting. Let's see what happened. Keep an eye on Tobias on the inside line there. Oh, looks like he tried to get going, got to the leader a little too quickly, checked up, got bumped from behind. Take a look from another angle. He just gets on it a little too soon, checks up, gets turned around. No damage, no harm, no foul on this one. It looks like the field is still trying to get let the pace car get caught back up. Pat Boyce currently scored as the leader when the caution came out. He is trying to hunt down the pace car. Well, that was a start I have never seen before. And they have picked up the pace car in 1 and 2. Should be able to get everybody stacked up quickly. The lights are already off on the pace car. That was close. As everybody is stacking back up, getting ready for the restart. Pat Boyce, Greg Boydell will have the front row. Roger Craig, Tim Chapman on the second, Bob Curtis, Bill Calder on the third, Stu Wright, Terry Landis, Armando Melgoza, and John Tobias rounding out the field. Now remember, once the green flag flies, it takes them about a lap and a half to get these trucks up to full speed. As the pace car dives in, here we go. The green flag flies and they are away. Pat Boyce clears out to the front. Everybody gets off the line clean this time. Roger Craig trying to make a move up on the high side. Has a bit of a run, but Boydell giving a big push to Pat Boyce down the backstretch. Bob Curtis jumping up to the high line as they catch back up to the lead group. Stu Wright comes up to give him a hand. Does take a little while for that outside line to work in. They're going to have to get some more trucks out there if they hope to make moves up top. John Tobias now up into ninth, but he started in third place. He has got a lot of ground to make up here, but it is Daytona. He could be back up to the front by the time they get to the start-finish line. Oh, a little bit of bobbling back there for third. Tim Chapman holds on to it. Roger Craig trying to get some help up top. Nobody is coming. And he can't get to the bottom at the moment. Melgoza is right there and the door is closed. Pat Boyce continuing to lead. Boydell in second. Looks like Boydell's going to go to the high line, get a little help, see if he can reclaim the lead. And Boydell does lead that time by. Stu Wright in the 131 started tail end of the field, fighting his way back toward the front. Things are getting a little spicy mid-pack. Terry Landis Landis had a brief incident there coming into turn 3, gets it gathered up, but both Landis and Tobias have lost some ground. Roger Craig, Greg Boydell battling it out up front. Last week at Talladega, they were in the DW12 Indy cars. Could not touch each other. We saw what happened on more than one occasion. The lightest touch in those cars, things go wrong, but in these trucks, they can use the bumpers and the doors as weapons. Whoa, big one on the front stretch. Caution is out. Multiple drivers involved. Bill Calder, Tim Chapman, John Tobias, Armando Melgoza. Everyone catching a piece of it as they come out of turn 4. Let's see if we can see how this party got started. Armando there. Oh, Tim Chapman comes up just a little bit. Armando almost made it through unscathed. Let's take a look at Chapman, see what happened. Oh, he gets a little squirrely. Comes across the nose of the 747 and everything pops off behind. Greg Boydell back in the lead for the moment. Pat Boyce in second. John Tobias now in third. Armando Melgoza in fourth. Roger Craig in fifth, Bob Curtis, Stu Wright, Bill Calder, Terry Landis, Tim Chapman. Round out the field, but a mix of cars coming in. John Tobias, Roger Craig both staying out, as does Bill Calder. Lights already off on the pace car as they get ready to stack the trucks back up for the restart. Down the back straightaway, everybody getting stacked up, ready to go. Looks like most of the drivers that came in was fuel only, but it does appear Terry Landis, Tim Chapman, and Bob Curtis all took tires. All right, here they come. Out of turn 4. Pace car about to dive to pit road. Pace car is in. And the green flag is in the air. They're back underway. Tobias gets a good jump. Did not look like everybody was tightened up. Roger Craig now to second, Calder in third. But Boydell on the bottom with help is on the move. Pat Boyce right there with him. Out of turn 2, one truck went to the infield. Stu Wright has had a problem out of 2. No caution yet. Greg Boydell reclaims the lead as they come into turn 4. Landis on the high side, and he has help. And Landis leads it at the line. Let's see what happened with Stu a moment ago. Out of turn 2, looked like Stu may have just came down. There's Stu in the middle. Tim Chapman. I think there was some net code at play off of Tim Chapman, and it sent Stu to the infield. Stu still on track, hoping for a caution. Meanwhile, the top 9 all still together. Armando, whoa, a little bit of a problem ahead. Caution is out. We've got one truck in the air. Greg Boydell, Terry Landis, all caught up. Taking a look down from the blimp. Was it a bad bump? Let's back this up. Looking down from the blimp again at Tim Chapman in the green truck. A lot of wobbling on the high side. They came down. Chapman managed to avoid the worst of it. And one more look at this as they came out of turn 2. A lot of bobbling. And wow, Boydell catches some air. Several trucks get a little bit of air, but they will keep going. Roger Craig is on pit road. Looks like John Tobias, Greg Boydell, Terry Landis, and Stu Wright all coming in. The only driver that has not made a pit stop yet is Bill Calder. Tim Chapman avoided the worst of that and is out front as the lights go out on the pace car. Everybody is back out on track and they begin to stack back up for the restart. Chapman definitely had a rough race last week in the DW12s. Looking to turn things around here tonight. Looks like they're finally getting stacked up and ready as the pace car dives in. Chapman and Pat Boyce on the front row. The green flag flies again. Boyce able to get down quickly. Bill Calder stuck up on the high side with no help. Calder likely to drift. Oh, Calder gets a wall again. A rough restart for Bill. You gotta wonder if he's still having technical issues. We saw him having problems during the dirt race in Volusia. Do those technical issues still haunt him now? Everybody back side by side as they go off into turn 3. Calder trying to close back up. He is within the draft, and he is gaining back up on the field. Pat Boyce leading the outside line. Tim Chapman has the inside line. Boyce is trying to... Whoa! Things get really tight at the front. Boyce manages to get down. Looks like everybody saved it. Armando had a very, very close call. When Pat came down, Tim tried to go up. Now Boydell to the high line. Boydell now has some help. Melgoza closing in. Down the back straightaway. The inside line continues to dominate. The more cars they put up top, the more it'll work in, the more speed they'll have on that high line. Bill Calder has come to pit road unexpectedly. Bob Curtis now up into third. John Tobias in fourth. Tobias has had a wild night. Remember, he had the problem on the start. He was in the air during that last incident, but still in the fight. And caution is back out. Bob Curtis involved. See if we can see what. Oh! Bob Curtis gets turned down, but it looked like Tobias may have gotten the bump that started it. Looking down from the blimp at Tobias in the white 34 car on the high side. Curtis just pushes him up a little bit. They both get squirrely. John Tobias definitely having a rough night tonight. Pat Boyce still has the lead, and it looks like we'll have several back on pit road. Greg Boydell, Terry Landis, Bob Curtis all in. Bill Calder is back out on track after his unexpected stop. And he is getting the wave around that should put him back on the lead lap. Lights are out. Everybody's stacking back up. Bob Curtis on his way back off pit road. Bill Calder coming away back around to get stacked back up as well. Pat Boyce will be in control on the restart. And it seems like a good time to get a little bit loud on the restart. I'm going to stop talking, let you guys crank it up and listen to all that horsepower. Here we go. Pace car about to dive back in. Into the restart zone. The green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. Man, that just sounds beautiful. Pat Boyce still has the lead with the push from Roger Craig. The outside line down to just 2 trucks at the moment. Stu Wright, John Tobias both trying to make their way up toward the front just past the halfway point. Greg Boydell, who's looking to sweep the night, currently back in 6th place. That outside line starting to grow just a little bit. Bill Calder closing in. Terry Landis also now in the outside line. Bill Calder did just set the fastest lap of the race, 47.59. That boy still has the lead, but that outside line is starting to work really well together and starting to build some momentum. Armando Melgoza still back there lurking just a little bit. Not pulling up too close to get caught up. Looks like Bill Calder pulling the same strategy. Both drivers giving themselves some space in case something goes wrong. And Armando Melgoza has just dove to pit road. That is an unexpected stop. Bill Calder still hanging back just a little bit, trying to make sure he stays in the draft. And a lot of action up at the front. Remember, these trucks do not have a ton of grip. And with the wind moving around them and moving them around, they can be a bit of a handful. Armando is back out on track. Oh, we've got a wreck into the outside wall. No caution is going to come from it. Terry Landis gets caught up in it, as did Roger Craig. Let's see if we can see what just happened. Keep an eye on Terry Landis in the Yoo-Hoo truck as they go off into 1 and 2. And looks like the 747 just gave a truck a bad bump. Sent it up into him. Wow, Calder gets into him. And everybody keeps them pointed the right way and moving again. Well, that was a wild turn of events there. Now Stu Wright, John Tobias, Greg Boydell, the top three. Bob Curtis in fourth, 0.8 of a second back. Bill Calder up to fifth. Terry Landis and Roger Craig are both on pit road. Tim Chapman, Armando Melgoza, Pat Boyce back behind. All three have completed their final stops. And here, whoa! Big change of plans. Nope, Stu's coming. John Tobias almost stayed out. He is in. Greg Boydell also in. Bob Curtis stays out and assumes the lead. And these late pit stops under green flag conditions definitely going to shake things up. Bob Curtis will still need to make a final stop. Also, Bill Calder likely going to need one as well. John Tobias back out on track. Here comes Boydell. Stu Wright not far behind. Tim Chapman currently leading the second group with Armando and Pat Boyce. They're going to have to get single file and work together if they want a shot at the win. Tim currently 7.7 seconds behind Stu Wright and Greg Boydell in third and fourth. Bob Curtis, Bill Calder, both drivers alone. And both drivers still need to make a final stop. Bill Calder has had a problem back behind. He is bringing it into pit road. We know Bill has been having some technical issues all night long. Looked like he might have been aiming for pit road, got turned down a little late. Goes through the grass, gets back up on the track. And then a few moments later, Calder has a problem coming out of two and gets into the outside wall. Bob Curtis still scored as the leader, but does he have the fuel to go the distance? Stu Wright in second, Greg Boydell in third. They are 29 seconds behind and gaining rapidly. They're over 2 seconds a lap faster. Bill Calder has just left pit road. As Pat Boyce and his group are closing rapidly. Bob Curtis all alone has no help. But does he have the fuel to make it to the end? He has 6 laps left to go. And a 26.6 second lead over Stu. Bob's lead continuing to shrink, but will he be able to go the distance? Second and third, 24.5 seconds back. Pat Boyce about 6 seconds behind them, leading this second group. And this second group is bigger, and they are closing rapidly. They're about 5.8 seconds behind Boydell. Bob Curtis did not have enough fuel. He is headed in. Stu Wright likely to take the lead here with Boydell's help. Four laps to go. They have a big gap, 5.4 seconds back to Pat Boyce. But this four-car group is closing. They are 5.2 seconds back. Do they have enough time to go the distance and get there? They're about a half a second a lap faster at the moment than the top two. Three laps to go. I think Pat and his crew will get about halfway there, but unless something drastic changes with this group or up front, they will not be able to catch the top two, and the race will come down to Stu Wright and Greg Boydell. I just realized Stu Wright is driving a Ford. It could at any moment spontaneously combust. 2 laps to go at Daytona. Pat Boyce and crew, they have stopped working together. They have begun to battle. This is exactly what Greg Boydell and Stu Wright needed. They're still gaining a little bit of ground, but 4.5 seconds back. But Stu Wright, Greg Boydell are battling as well. And the caution flies. We'll go to a green-white checkered finish. Tim Chapman, Terry Landis, Bill Calder all caught up. Let's see what happened to them. Chapman leading that second group for the moment. He comes down. Oh! Let's take a look from the blimp. You'll notice Chapman is clear at that point, but as soon as he starts down, he's not clear anymore. Gets turned, backs it up. Wow. Greg Boydell scored as the leader at the time of caution. But what was looking like a 2-car battle for the win has now turned into a 9-car battle. And Greg Boydell is coming in. Is this going to be fuel only or will he take tires? Looks like tires are going on. Now the question is, can Boydell utilize those tires in 2 laps to charge through the field? Lights are out. Everybody stacks back up. Bill Calder, the only driver not on the lead lap. Everybody stacks up for the green-white checkered finish. Greg Boydell, the only driver on fresh tires, but back in 8th place with 2 to go. Pace car dives in as they head to the restart zone for the final time. The green flag flies, 2 to go at Daytona. And who will it be? Greg Boydell hoping to pull off the sweep here tonight. He's going to need a miracle. He's not advancing quick enough. Stu Wright now has Pat Boyce on the high side. Pat Boyce pulls ahead. He looks to come down. He's going to make it, but slams the door. Roger Craig couldn't get down. Pat Boyce leads into 3 and 4. Everybody side by side out of turn 4 through the tri-oval. And the white flag flies at Daytona one more time around. Roger Craig has the nose ahead going into turn 1. That outside line has not had a lot of momentum tonight, but it looks like it is coming now. Craig still ahead down the back straightaway. He starts to move low. Didn't have enough time to get to the bottom. Pat closes the door. Now Pat has the nose ahead. They wreck coming into turn 4. Boydell gets caught. It is chaos across the line, but Stu Wright gets the win. Armando Melgoza comes home in second. Roger Craig comes across the line in third. And let's take a quick look. Looking down from the blimp as they come through 3 and 4. There you see the bump at the front, some bump in mid-pack as well. Boyce gets turned up into the wall. Boydell gets turned Melgoza, and Stu come through clean. Armando and Stu, the only ones not caught up. Definitely a wild finish, but what do you expect at Daytona? And let's see if we can get a word with our top 3. It looks like we have second place Armando Melgoza available. We'll start with him. Armando, I gotta say, man, it's time the bad luck went away. A great finish, and somehow you came through that last lap incident unscathed.
I don't know how I did it.
I don't know either, but man, I know you've had a rough start to the season. It seems like nothing goes your way, and then tonight it finally all turns around.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I'm just surprised I got paint left on my truck.
You did have some fun early on and got a few bumps there, but man, you were there when it counted and come home on the podium finally.
Yep, but I want to thank you for your great announcing and the Massive Avenger Racing for putting this on.
Well, man, great job tonight, buddy. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much.
Armando finally gets on the podium. Third place is Roger Craig. Roger, I have to ask, when you came across the line, what direction were you facing? I couldn't tell at the moment. Hey, Roger, you got me?
Yeah, I think I might have been sideways when I crossed the line, actually.
I couldn't tell if you were sideways or pointed backwards at the moment. There was a lot going on there.
That was pretty wild ending. Terry and I were hanging back there, and they were actually leaving us. And I said, "This might be a good thing because they could all wreck in front." But then we had that caution, and and then I want to thank Terry for pushing me at least to get me over the grass and over the finish line.
It did look like it was going to come down to you and Greg there for a few moments, and man, you two started getting side by side. Could you have held him off?
I'm not sure. Are you talking about before the wreck or after the wreck?
Before the wreck, before that green-white checkered, when you two got sideways coming to one to go, it was quite an interesting situation there.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening. I was just trying to keep my car going forward.
Well, man, you did an amazing job of that. Congratulations. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Well, first and foremost, Massive Avenger Racing from Parts Unknown. Without him, we wouldn't be doing this. Also, shout out to Bill Calder and wishing him good luck with his driver's test next week. So we're all thinking of him and hoping he can get the real license back.
Hopefully, man. Great job tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the broadcast, man.
We haven't got our winner. Oh, there he is. No, we do not have our winner, Stu, right yet. We'll give him another minute. But, folks, don't forget, tomorrow night, C12 Motorsports season finale from Homestead. You definitely want to be here at 9 Eastern. It's going to be a heck of a race. And I don't think Stu's going to be joining us. It does not look like Stu's going to join us, but thank you guys so much for joining. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. One heck of a night of racing, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.